Welcome to the world of D&D. DnDestiny specifically, not D&D. This is not D&D. This is DnDestiny. It is based on 5e for anyone who is unfamiliar with it. And I normally would ask people to introduce themselves, but we're going to have that opportunity in just a moment here soon. To start off, let's just go over the world of Destiny real quick. It is a sci-fi futuristic world that is very heavily inspired by various fantasy-esque settings. You all are going to be playing Guardians. Guardians are humans, awoken, exos, and various other things that have died in their life, but still have some spark of light left in them. Enough so that a little shard of the Traveler called a ghost can revive you and turn you into a superpowered being created to help defend humanity from extinction. The Guardians have a home base underneath the Traveler in the last city called the Vanguard. The Vanguard is the main hub for all Guardian activity. It teaches new Guardians what they're able to do and what's possible. They give new Guardians the resources to grow and give them the ability to go beyond what their normal limitations would be, as well as organizing everything and doing all the paperwork and stuff that you don't quite want to do. Unfortunately, the one downside for a ghost is they have to find their chosen guardian. That's not exactly easy when you have the entire solar system to look through. All the bodies from all the wars ever had, all of the collapses and disasters, especially. What?
You weren't in the chat for a second.
Yeah, you were gone.
This is gonna go fantastically.
What was the last thing you heard? I'm happy that I'm gonna be uploading this to YouTube later.
I think the last thing we heard was "Be quiet, Mech."
Yeah, be quiet, Mech. I'm trying to do an intro.
Yeah.
For fuck's sakes. Hold on one second. Did the cat? Did you just fucking mess with my thing? No, she didn't. Okay. Not too long ago, she actually unplugged my entire microphone setup.
No,
it's like yesterday she did that. It was awful.
She's getting smarter.
I would prefer she doesn't. So, the last thing you heard was "Be quiet, Mech." Yeah, it's just that's all I was talking about. Unfortunately, the one downside to a Guardian's situation being a corpse is that their ghost has to find them exactly. That's not the easiest task when they have the entire solar system to search through. All the wars that have been fought, all the disasters that have been struck, and all the collapses done have made a lot of people to have to search, as well as lost voyages, asteroid belts, inhospitable planets. Some ghosts just never find their chosen guardian, or it'll take them centuries to even come across the area they might be. So what the Vanguard have put together is a system where a bunch of ghosts can pick a guardian as an escort, and the guardian will keep the ghost safe as they try and explore the more dangerous areas. This is a good experience for the guardians to get some good in-field training, and it's a good experience for the ghosts to actually get to search places they normally wouldn't be able to, at least not safely. You are a collection of ghosts that were in line for months waiting for a guardian to be open enough to actually help you all through, and you all ended up with the guardian called Nebdry. This guardian is a defender titan. He is very protective and very safe of individuals, and he actually is very well versed with the Cosmodrome, seeing that this is the area that he was revived in himself, and he has a lot of experience exploring this spot, including what dangers may be in this area. So he picked out a path that will take about 3 weeks to get through, and going through the entire pathway, you all explored collapsed ruins, graveyards, and old war zones from people trying to leave and looting areas after the Great Collapse. Unfortunately, like most of these trips, none of your ghosts end up finding anybody. It's very difficult to find your guardian. However, towards the end of the trip, when they really thought they wouldn't be finding anybody, the guardian brought all of your ghosts to a location that he was very familiar with. It is a old building that one half of it has collapsed in disarray. Filled inside were hundreds and hundreds of people who were either trying to get out or were exploring it after the fact and didn't have much luck. All the ghosts went in and explored the area, and almost as though a miracle, a bunch of guardians came walking out for their first life. Now, unfortunately, it's like herding cats, as a bunch of newfangled guardians who don't have any experience in the world and any knowledge of what they are is going to have to be brought back to the tower, and it's going to take almost a week to get back. However, even though all of you just came out of the building for the first time, he didn't get a time to get any introductions. He very quickly asked all of you to come with him quickly and move off into a more quiet, secluded spot. Trying to keep you all quiet and hushed as you are wandering around aimlessly, he is searching around almost seemingly randomly, poking his head up around corners, making sure that the pathways are clear, and listening very closely and making sure none of you are talking during the entire course of this action. After about an hour of wandering through buildings, he finally sits down and allows all of you the chance to talk for the first time. Introduce yourselves.
Okay.
Hello.
Yeah, not all at once.
The best part about you getting people to introduce their characters. I'll try and bite the bullet on this one. So, a kind of a blue-faced awoken with kind of orange glowing eyes is kind of the first one to step up, and he introduces himself as Andrel Zozov. He introduces himself as Earthborn, but he doesn't remember how he died or how long he's been dead, and recognizes nothing about the world around
I guess I'll just call people out. Camilla?
Oh, why me?
I said I'm going to call people out. Introduce yourself.
Hi.
Hi. Oh, I hate being put on the spot like this. Right.
Everyone would be.
Well, class, it's the first day. We're gonna play a game where we learn each other's names.
I feel like y'all aren't prepared to say hello.
I said hi.
We've been dead for how long? Your social skills will get shot.
By the way, I'm treating that as in character. I don't even
Okay,
care.
fits the character, so.
Oh my god.
An Earthwoman steps forward. She introduces herself as Dawn Picard. She recalls nothing of her death and of her previous life. She only knows that she was a pilgrim.
Okay.
I've got nothing.
No, I mean, I don't expect people to know anything. It's just more so introducing like your name and such.
I guess I'll go. Red-haired, blue awoken walks forward. Introduces himself as Rendell Sarth. And just kind of looks around, confused.
He's chatty. A copper exo who has been making snide comments this entire time steps up, and my name is Pariah 1, I suppose.
So after getting all of your names, the Titans just responds with just sits down and introduces himself back. I am Nebdurai. I'm the one responsible for bringing you all back home to the tower the first time. It's dangerous here. The darkness is everywhere and it'll try to envelop you should you not be careful. It'll take about a week for us to get back from the path we're currently taking. We're at the very end of our journey, looping around the population center, trying to show these ghosts their guardians for the first time. If we end up getting separated, don't panic. Your ghost knows the way back home. It's been there plenty of times on its own. And you have the power of the light to keep you safe should you split from the group. However, you're very weak right now. You don't have everything available to you. I'll show you what you're capable of, but we have to keep moving. Stay safe and don't leave the group.
Andrel kind of raises his hand.
Yes, Androv? Andrel? Androv?
Andrel.
Andrel. I have it written down right there.
I'm sorry to be of a bother, but you kind of skip part as to why are we all suddenly alive? You talk about ghosts
Yeah.
and guardians and the lights. I do not know what this is.
What's up with that? I have like a gunshot in my head. Logic dictates I should not be here.
Well, I mean, first and foremost, you're a robot. I mean, is a
Fair.
gunshot wound to the head really that big of a deal for you? Just get a welder's kit.
I don't know. You make some valid points. I don't know what's stored in my head.
That explains the memory loss. You're all guardians. Years and years and years ago, a being came down from the heavens and showed humanity what it is capable of. We call that thing the Traveler. That thing, that being, gave so many past lives a second chance. It gave so many of them the capability to become so much more than what they are. It gave them powers beyond anything you could ever imagine, and gave all of humanity technology and processes that they never had before. However, not every single past life can become a guardian, can become one of these superpowered beings. The Traveler, in its last dying breath, made thousands upon thousands of ghosts, the little creatures that are with you right now. As I point this out, I lift up my own little ghost, which is a pure round ball of almost rust-colored green with a single glowing eye in the middle of it. This ghost found all of you in the ruins that you walked out of as corpses, dead people from long before, either fairly recently or very, very old skeletons. And your ghost, using the Traveler's light, revived you and gave you all these powers that you're soon to find in the future. However, your ghost is not invincible. If your ghost is gone, you lose access to everything that the Traveler gave you. But should you go, your ghost can actually bring you back from the dead again. It's done it once already, hasn't it? Does that answer your questions?
Some of them. But I think more will come to light as we continue.
Hey, light. I see what you're saying there.
That's kind of nifty.
Are there any more questions from the group as to what you are?
I got nothing.
Why am I blue?
Because you were asleep in a vat of blue dye for some reason.
Seems odd, but okay.
There you go. With no more questions, your guardian companion, Nevjirai, helps set up camp. He shows you all how to pitch a tent and make a little home for your ghost for your first night. While you're all settled in, Neb takes a chance to actually discuss with you what your pathway is going, what dangers your pathway is going to entail. This is the House of Fire's territory. They're a race of aliens called the Fallen, who once were part of the light, but they forsake their privileges and now are lost with nothing but scavenges and scraps. They're very jealous of what you have, of your ghosts and your powers, and they'll do everything in their power to kill you for your last life. We have to go through this territory if we want to get back in time. They may be a small house, but don't be fooled. They're very dangerous. They have far more to gain than they have to lose right now. So they'll fight very ferociously, especially for the honor of being the one to claim your final death. In the morning, we start our trek, and I hope we don't meet any of them on our way out. You all settle in for the night. Thoughts going through your heads of what might come from the future and processing what you've learned today. In the morning, you all leave and pack up your tents and put them on your backs and hand them off to your ghosts to carry. And you collectively head towards the last city in its tower, not even in sight. It's such a far trek. Along your path, going through old buildings and destroyed terrain and things like that, you are standing on top of a building when Neb stops all of you and says that there's some enemies up ahead. They're weak ones, stuck out from the rest of their group. We might use this as an opportunity. There's only a few of them there, and I think we can actually take them out. Let's give your guns a test. Wrong one. I brought you all to the wrong group. Luckily, the stream didn't matter. The stream didn't see that. Can I get a perception check for everybody? That'll be a... If you select your character and pull up your character sheet... Whoops, didn't mean to grab you there. And pull up your character sheet, you can click on perception and just do a roll.
That was the wrong character, but...
That was, in fact, the wrong character. Can you please roll the correct character?
God damn it.
Well, shit.
Both of you rolled your ghosts.
What? I clicked my...
Oh.
No, I
Why do
clicked...
you... Stop rolling, Besh.
What?
Oh, it shows up. I had the chat covered. I didn't see all that. I'm sorry.
Jesus fuck.
Oh,
I was looking for something to happen on the board. I'm sorry.
there is a version of
But so
this
is-
that
if you
rolls
use the-
3D dice, but I didn't like that. I felt like it was too intensive and too loud and obnoxious and gets in the way of everything. So I
Okay.
disable it.
Okay, so I was using the pop-out version of my character sheet, and for some reason it was rolling my ghost instead of my character, even though I clicked my character. Oh,
Oh,
wait,
no.
no, it's just because I'm listed as my ghost. It is actually my character sheet.
Oh, that's so curious.
Oh,
Yeah,
right, yeah.
I've now changed my name onto my thing, and then it shows up as that. So, whatever. I just need to remember that I just clicked the right one, and it should work.
All right. Well then.
Oh, just take the first one because that was my actual character.
Okay.
Which
This is
Same for me.
so obnoxious.
That was the
Actually,
same
I
for
rolled-
me,
I
but you can
rolled
take the
11.
crit fail if you want.
Yeah, I had 11, 10, and 10. So
I
just take the 10.
Honestly, yeah, no, everyone. No. You got 11 for your first roll. Jeez.
enough.
Mechs in there.
I forget. Why does it have two numbers?
In case for
What's the
advantage.
Oh.
In case you're at advantage.
The second one is your
Okay,
second
cool.
roll, which we are ignoring for this, obviously.
Cool. I got 20.
I got 12.
Yep.
12
there
for
you
me,
go. You got
too,
12.
apparently.
Okay. You're all rolled well enough to actually see where your enemies are. You're very new and don't know what Ned was talking about when he said, there's enemies up ahead, and he didn't really take a moment to actually explain anything, just thinking, oh, it's a time for us to shoot. He is a Titan after all. So, there are 4 dregs in front of you. And roll for initiative real quick.
Ooh.
Whoops. Did I pull up the... I did not. I will add you in, though. Matt, can I get you to
I've already
roll
rolled
again,
my
and I'll
character.
add you in? Just select your character
Okay.
when you roll. That way, it'll put you into the turn order. I forgot to mention that entirely, and I do apologize.
Wait, what do you mean select your character?
Select your
click the
token
token
on
on
the
the
game board, and then roll.
Oh, okay.
Yep. I'll take your first roll. And everyone has to do that
Yeah,
as well,
that's
because that's how it puts you into the roll.
Conveniently.
Conveniently, perfect.
You can also right-click the character token, and it should say add turn.
Yep, fair. So I just want to make sure everyone knows what the hell they're doing with this. Rend Dial, can I get you to select? Oh no, you are on here. Never mind.
Yeah,
It's just...
I rolled 11.
No, I'm sorry. There's some very similar names in here.
And we are so many levels of outclassed.
Yeah.
We just rolled bad.
Yeah, Drags rolled very well.
Damn, we're slow.
You're new Guardians. You don't have any knowledge of how the world works.
Neb rolled like worse than one of us.
So let's do these dregs real quick. Man, you all suck.
Oh, thanks.
Dude, we just woke up.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we took a nap, didn't we?
How long were we dead?
Like
one day is not a lot to be alive.
We're unsure. So that's that one.
You live that sedentary life for long enough. It's going to take a long time to get used to not.
25. So this wall here in front of you it will add 15 feet when you try to cross it. Otherwise, each square is only 10 feet.
Okay, and I see a hole in it, like
that
down the way, right?
Yeah, that'll be only a 5-foot walk if you decide to go through there.
How did you do the moving thing with the arrows again? I forget.
So if you want to see distances at any time, there's a ruler option. It's the 5th option down on the left side there, the left toolbar. And you can actually set it to not show other people, but you can just select and you can see, oh, that's 30 feet. Oh, that's 35 feet, things like that. So you can confirm distances at any point if you're ever curious. But in order to do it like I did, you actually grab the token, and then with it grabbed, you right click the table, and then right click again where you want them to go on every node. You can't see the steps. No one can see the steps that you're doing. But when you let go, they'll move across the entire path. Make sense?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you.
Cool.
All right, and Rend Dial, you have first turn. So this uses D&D rules, so you have your movement on your character.
Yep, let me reopen it real quick.
And did you say the squares were 5 feet or 10?
5 feet. Each square is only 5 feet.
Okay.
When you move your character, it will give you distance calculations as you're going. And don't just move them from point A to point B. Like, take turns as though the terrain is real. However, it doesn't do distance calculation for the walls, so you're going to have to do that one in your head.
Okay, so
I wonder if I actually can add that in.
10, 15,
You
20.
don't... What are you doing?
What? I'm not moving? Or...
No, you are, but like, okay, pick your character.
You can just do the
arrows. Pick your character
movement
up.
Thing that he did.
Don't move them yet. Just hold them in your hand. And right click while you're still holding them. And you should have an arrow appear, right?
Sweet.
Now right click wherever your character will be turning. And it'll give you a distance calculation. Now, Bashir has done a little bit of combat in this, so he does know somewhat what to do. So this actually is fantastic that he's going first. So he moved 30 feet,
30 feet,
which is your character's distance that you can move.
And I've got a shotgun.
Okay. So, no, that's fair.
Shit.
That's fair. That's fair. So, pull up your character sheet and click on the shotgun. Yep. That'll roll to hit.
Right. It will be the most recent shotgun.
Okay. So, unfortunately, your shot went wide and you weren't able to hit them.
I've never shot a gun before.
Yep, you don't know what you're doing. However, that was also your turn, unless you have some ability that lets you do a reaction or something. That's it. So,
I can see in the dark.
Really fucking useful. All right, Neb's turn. Said to be the area they can reach more than their width. Yeah, exactly. So Neb sees you in trouble up here. So what he's going to do is he's going to run right over to here. And he is going to he is just going to use his auto rifle on that drag from the side. He thinks it's very silly that you ran straight at it. So, auto rifle. Unfortunately, he misses as well. Not bad enough to harm you. What?
Nothing. Never mind.
Yeah, you best be quiet. Um,
All right, fine. I'll roleplay a mute.
I mean, you all did to start.
You won't.
However, he's more skilled than you guys and can actually try again. So he's gonna fire a second time with his auto rifle. This time, nailing a direct hit. Shooting from the base and going right up to the top of the head, the Fallen is killed.
Without even having to roll damage?
Nope.
Holy shit.
Dude, these guys are weak. Like 2 health.
So now I will say, whenever you guys use your guns, on your character sheets will have, actually I'll pull this in the stream so people know what the hell I'm talking about. Well, that's not visible in stream. So, oh, I'll pull up someone else's character sheet because I want this to be visible to people watching this. So if you go to your character sheets, you'll notice on the side there's primary shots, primary magazines, secondary mags, heavy mags, things like this.
Oh, yeah.
The shots is how many shots are in your gun. The mags is how many magazines you are carrying. Make sense?
Okay.
And
Yes.
there's one thing I actually forgot to change on everyone's sheet. Reduce your magazines by 1. Like how many you're carrying right now. Because your gun spawns with nothing in it.
Okay.
So like your heavy
Okay,
weapons,
so
if you have one, only has the clip in it. It doesn't have an extra magazine too.
My secondary has nothing in it, but also one less magazine.
Well, so load
I have
yours.
a heavy and now I've got one less
Like
magazine.
your guns are loaded, but it loaded from one of the magazines that you had on you. When I put in everyone's magazines, I put in there how much that they had carried on them, and I filled the guns, but that was a mistake. You weren't supposed to have the guns filled. So, like, I just fired 2 shots, and my auto rifle can carry 8 shots, but I'm going to be bringing it down to only 6 now because I just fired 2 rounds.
You did it right with my sidearm, though.
Okay, sweet. I made a mistake then. I mean, I did it right the first time.
How much heavy mags do you start with again?
Only 1. You only have the 1 clip in your heavy. Like,
Okay.
you start with 1 mags, and that mag got loaded into your gun. So you have
Gotcha.
0 mags spare, but you have the 1 in your gun.
But we don't have
believe
a
it-
heavy.
If you have a
It's
heavy, you
5
could take the
primary.
pick to get a heavy mag.
Yeah, you
That's
can
right.
start with a heavy or a secondary.
Yep.
That's right, and that's where you get the mag. Never mind.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
This all makes sense.
Dawn, it is your turn. So you can move 30 feet, or if you move only 15 feet, you can aim down your sights. However, you can't really see anything here. And aiming down your sight just gives you benefits at longer range distances. If things are within 5 feet of you, you can get detriments based on the gun. Depends on the gun, though. So, Dawn?
Dawn's going to move over here,
Okay.
and she's going to aim down the sight of her pulse rifle and then take a shot at this Dreg here.
So
It's behind a wall.
this drag is at the base of a wall that's 10 feet high, so you can't see that. You could get visual on this one if you have the range for it. If you're aiming down sight, a pulse rifle should be able to do that just easily. 60 feet?
Yes, 60 feet.
That's
That's in
totally,
my
that's
range.
absolutely within range. Roll for... So you do manage to actually pick the drag out from a distance. Congratulations. Roll for damage. And with that, you actually do enough to the drag to pick it off from your insane range. Congratulations, you got your first kill, you murderer. So, move
Sweet.
30 feet.
Okay. Yep. And I'm going to be doing a no aim shot on preferably the drag in front of Neb. I think I could probably see that, right?
Yeah, I would say that you see it. However, it will be getting a little bit extra to its AC for trying to shoot basically through me.
That's fine.
I can take the hit.
I'm going to be using my hand cannon.
Okay. So, I rolled to hit. Unfortunately, your shot went too high up. You don't know the range of your gun quite yet, and you weren't able to hit the drag. However, you also missed Neb to your benefit. Okay.
What is Cascade? I don't remember that.
Oh, so I went through and gave everyone a little bit of unique equipment. Either some guns got benefits on them, some some of you got more glimmer, some of you got new equipment in your inventory spots. Cascade. If you get a melee kill while this weapon is your active weapon, you can reload this weapon as a bonus action. If reloading this weapon was already a bonus action for you, it becomes a free action instead. Andrel.
Okay. Quick question. What's the difference between aiming down sights and firing from the hip?
Differences are, if you aim down sights, you can only move 15 feet that turn. If you move more than 15 feet, you are no longer aiming down sights. You can shoot.
No, that's it takes half your movement to aim down sights, and if you move more than 5 feet, you're no longer aiming down sights.
Well, you can fire up to the maximum range of your gun, which is the second after the slash. So for my auto rifle, it's 40/50. You can aim up. If you're aiming, you can shoot up to the 50 in this case without any detriments. Otherwise, you would have disadvantage on to hit rolls against them. And if you're aiming down sights and an enemy makes a melee attack against you, they get advantage trying to melee attack you.
Nothing is stopping me from moving diagonal, right?
No.
I'm gonna move myself up here. And then I'm just going to fire at this dude.
Okay.
With my pulse rifle.
Okay. Roll 4 to hit. So you rolled a 13. You were able to skim a shot between the rubble pile and Neb and nail the drag directly. Roll for damage. If you click on pulse rifle, there you go. And that is just enough to kill the drag outright. You see a plume of ether explode out of its head as it keels over backwards. Speaking of dregs, it's this guy's turn. He got smart and ran directly to the wall, keeping him safe. But boop, he is coming in and he's going to be doing an attack on Neb. Skim a shot. Exactly right. The drag. Boop. He did not manage to break the armor of Neb. He is completely safe and unharmed from this weakling of a creature. Okay. Next turn is Rend Dial.
Right. So we are able to move diagonally, correct?
Yes. We are basically treating the angle of the distance you can move is what the rulers are telling you. So diagonals are just the same as straight lines.
Okay. That's 30 feet.
Yep.
And I want to make a roll with my shotgun.
Shotgun? You're really going shotgun heavy.
Oh no.
So
That's it.
So unfortunately, your shot goes wide and you hit Neb instead. Roll for damage.
Oh.
Just click on the name shotgun and that'll let you roll damage.
Oof.
Luckily,
6 damage.
Neb's shields end up taking the hit totally fine. Let me...
You gonna get Titan punched.
I am.
He doesn't recoil in pain or anything like that. He seems okay for the most part, though you're probably going to be hearing about that later. Speaking of, it's Neb's turn. He takes out his frustration on the drag in front of him and winds up for a solid punch to the face to the guy. Oh, wait, is that damage? Hold on. Nope, that was to hit. Oh.
Rolled a 3.
He doesn't manage
plus
to...
the
Yeah, sorry, I rolled...
I think our Sherpa isn't good at this.
He punches the fucker again! This time, nailing a direct hit to the thing's face, snapping its head back, and it's dead. Congratulations, you all survived the encounter for better or worse.
I think
Andrew looks at Neb, like, kind of shocked. As this, how are you okay? You just took a shotgun to the face.
To prove his point, he turns and punches Rend Dial. Yeah, he got a solid hit off on him, and you see that Rend Dial flashes in blue for just a split second before going away. Your armor that your ghost gave you when you came back has shields built into it. Luckily,
Like a force field?
yes, exactly like that. You can take a few hits before you actually start hurting it, before you start feeling it. You're gonna have to get really wise at seeing that flash so you know how much you have left. After a moment, and as he says this, Rend Dial starts flashing again. The shields will come right back, as though nothing had happened.
Whoa.
Sweet.
We're overpowered.
You're very
Isn't
weak
this
right
like
now.
cheating?
All's fair in love and war. There's no love where we're going.
Dawn makes her way over to the group after putting her gun down.
That's
Well,
assuming we're out of combat, right?
That's a fair assumption.
I'd say that went rather well, except, one of us shooting our friend, but
He's fine. I got 2 bullets left.
Is that a threat?
No, that's not what I meant it as. Saying you're fine. I've also got 2 bullets left in my shotgun for later.
Later being when Neb is asleep.
I'm watching you.
What now?
Well, all the sound of gunfire might attract. Did you just rotate yourself?
Yes. To look at you.
That just looks
Like,
creepy.
that's what I usually do.
Just flip it back. That's.
Oh my,
Right.
that's how you rotate.
Oh my god. This looks so creepy. I'm imagining just their heads are twisting around, but their bodies are stationary. Please move them
That's
back.
kind of what turning to look at somebody is.
No, as in like their body is still facing southward, but their head snaps around to face me.
Oh.
I don't know why it's giving me this impression, but this just looks really awkward. Can you please not?
Honestly, with Rend Dial at an angle like that, it makes it hard to tell him and Andril apart.
They both end with
Visually.
L's as well, like end L's.
Yeah.
I end with an E, not an L.
Don't make me remove you from the Discord chat again. You already shot me, okay? You're on rocky ground here, friend.
We're all on rocky ground. It's nothing but rubble around here.
We're actually on a pretty stable building. I'm the GM, I can make the rules. Oh, so many art suggestions can be made out of this already.
I
Fun
know,
fact,
right?
rocket launchers have no minimum range.
Yep, they do not.
They are just as good to fire in close proximity as at range.
That's why you can get danger close on your
But you
rocket launcher.
Do have to aim.
That's a good question. Do
Barely.
I have danger? Do I have danger close on my rocket launcher? I'm gonna look that
Go
up.
and check.
I'm scared for the answer.
I'm curious.
No, I
Okay,
do not.
I didn't know if I would have given them that or not.
I have bulky, finesse, and payload. Right,
Yep, that's
so
the standard. Jeez, y'all are. This is gonna be great. This is gonna be great.
Okay. Anyways, Andrel then approaches Neb and says, "Okay, so one, what were those creatures? And two, I like this gun."
Those creatures were dregs, the lowest of the lowest of the House of Fire. They're very weak, and they come from an alien race that we know of as the Fallen. I was talking about them last night. There's no remorse from them, and don't feel anything if you have to put one down. In fact, if we didn't just get rid of them, they might have tried scavenging through the building we were in and found us. If they found us, they might have alerted the rest of the house.
So we're killing poor people.
If you want to look at it that way, yes. But these
But
are
now
poor
that we
people that
don't-
want to kill you.
Poor people in Seattle.
We're in Russia. How do you even know Seattle?
I traveled around back before I died.
That doesn't even make a remote bit of sense. We'll ask about that later. And speaking of,
Andrew once again speaks up. I'm guessing it's wise to assume that our gunshots might have alerted them anyway.
it's a fair assumption, and we should probably get moving before we continue this discussion. He leads you all off of the tower and away from the area. So he leads you through the down the building, outwards, and across the street, and just continues through your journey. For the rest of the day, it seems like no one heard the gunshots or didn't care to look. They were just dregs after all. So after finding a new safe spot to rest for the night, Neb takes out his gun and shows you all it. So you were asking about your gun earlier. I'll have you know, I modified my own, so it has a special little quirk to it. There in the tower is a man called the Gunsmith. He's an exo that's been around for many years, longer than anyone I know of, and he knows his way around a gun better than anyone else. He can give your guns wild abilities and strange things that you probably can't do on your own, but I'm proud to say that I made my own changes to this one. The auto rifle doesn't have a gun or anything. I'm still thinking of a name, but what it allows me to do is I learned this from the gunsmith called Last Resort. If any of you are downed and your ghost is trying to get you back, I can reload it instantly. It's really, really nice and handy when you're out on these excursions bringing guardians back for the first time.
How does that work?
The light does many things. Knowing how to wield it is part of your repertoire of skills that you're going to be learning in the future. When I bring you back, I'll
Does
be
the light
certain.
make caffeine?
Does the light?
Does the light make caffeine free? Does the light make caffeine-free coffee?
That's just called decaf.
That's just called decaf. We had that before the Golden Age.
I mean, is it capable of doing that?
The light's capable of many things. I don't know the exact limitations.
Light make decaf coffee.
Maybe you all should ask the denizens of the tower. I'm more on the weaponized side of things.
Ghost, are you a coffee maker?
The ghost just eyes you waringly.
Can I install a coffee maker in my ghost?
Your ghost can probably
Just
carry a
asking.
coffee maker.
Yeah, but then it takes like a long time to get it out.
It takes just as long. Your ghost is not a thermos.
See, that's a
Can
missed
we
opportunity.
Can we have the ghost run the coffee maker inside of itself?
It cannot.
Fill the ghost's inventory with coffee. No cups, just coffee.
That'd be a lot of coffee.
Drown our enemies in boiling, caffeinated liquid.
Is
I
there...
think we're onto something here.
I think we're digressing.
Your ghost, the way it carries things
think this
is
is
it only
progressing.
remembers them. So I suppose it could remember a lot of coffee?
It remembers them. You mean, like, just stores it, like, in its memory? And then just conjures it up?
Neb takes out his ghost and says, Dry, how about you explain this to them? Hi!
Alrighty then.
You see? Oh, did you just back up, Rend Dial? We ghosts are really smart. The way we work is we just remember what's in the stuff. His gun, I remembered how it looks like. He handed it to me. I deconstruct them into the tiny little parts made out of nothingness and just store them in my memory banks. When he needs it again, I just remember what it looked like and gave it back to him. What's this about coffee?
Nobody give that ghost coffee. He's had too much.
No. I concur.
Thank you, Jirai. He's better explaining it than me.
He's also very excitable.
He was just very happy to find me for the first time many years ago. Still getting over that that excitement. Or maybe he's just always like this. I didn't know him beforehand.
I'm
I
guessing.
imagine
that-
he doesn't have many friends you could ask either.
Oh, I haven't found them myself. Are you implying something?
Nah, it's not a huge surprise. No, I'm good.
I think he's charming.
By the way, I realize you your ghost has a name. Do ours?
Well, either your ghost has one or you give it one. Jirai came like that.
I lost my ghost. I can't find him.
That's very dangerous.
He's hiding somewhere.
He's probably hiding in his pocket backpack.
Is it Amrin?
Yeah.
It's
Think-
literally just
No,
on the.
I think he's,
page.
No,
he's making
I
a joke that he
know.
doesn't know where his ghost is right now.
Oh. I
Yeah,
thought
I-
he was like trying to sort of in character say that he doesn't have access to his ghost's character sheet.
No,
No. I have that pulled up.
he's just being a smartass.
Okay.
I just can't see my ghost.
Your ghost is hidden in a separate place generated by the light when you were made. They can communicate to you through that space whenever they need to, or they can just leave at any point nearby. It's safer there. Like I said, your ghost is very fragile. If they're gone, you have no hope.
Okay.
Speaking of, did I actually give my ghost? I did not give my ghost health. Whoops.
Does my ghost have health?
Trying to remember. You know, that was correct.
Yes.
Done. Yeah, that would have been very bad if I kept the ghost with no health. After showing you his gun and getting a chance to discuss with you all a little bit, I'm getting a phone call right now. 1 second.
This is the part where we start saying all kinds of shit in stream behind Zay's back, and he finds it out during editing.
Shit.
I had one ear on. I hope you know that.
Oh shit!
I have headphones with 2 ears.
That's bullshit.
I know, but when I have a phone call, I always
attention
take
to your
in
phone
complete-
call.
Yeah, you go.
We're not doing anything.
No, we're not. Nothing at all.
I believe that. I believe you guys are doing nothing.
Well, technically we're waiting on you, but you know, take your
No,
time.
it sounds like y'all are having a grand old time without me. Keep going, please.
Guys, let's box him in.
You do realize I could easily get out.
Somebody have a
Stare.
rocket launcher?
Stare at the AFK Guardian.
Does anyone have a rocket
Stare
launcher?
and emote.
That's right. Out of character, your emotes are a free action. So, you know, do that when you want. You can just flip
You mean
blob.
out of combat?
In combat, they're free action.
Oh.
Sad trombone. Okay, Dusk. Jeez.
In the words of Surge, there is never not a time without emote.